Meet Eep, a curious teenage cave girl who's completely tired of hiding from the world. Her family, the Croods, spends almost every day trapped inside a cave because outside, danger is everywhere. Most of their neighbors have already been eaten by predators. The only reason the Croods are still alive is Eep's overprotective father, Grug. Grug lives by one simple rule: never do anything new, never explore, never take risks, and absolutely never go outside after dark. To him, playing it safe is the only way to survive. After spending 3 days inside the cave, the family finally heads out to find breakfast. Before long, they spot a giant bird's egg, but they're not the only ones after it. Grug sends his son Thunk to grab it first, but the mother bird snatches it right back. Next comes little Sandy, then Eep's mom, Ugga, then Grandma Gran. The egg keeps changing hands as every predator joins the fight. Finally, Eep outsmarts them all and steals it herself. The family races home with their prize, but a massive predator suddenly attacks. Grug throws everyone onto a passing elephant-like beast before standing his ground alone. At the last second, he leaps aboard as the animal launches off a cliff, using its tusks to slow the landing. Even while flying through the air, Grug somehow catches the falling egg. Safe at last, the family enjoys their breakfast before Grug orders everyone back into the cave before sunset. Everyone obeys, except Eep. She secretly climbs a nearby cliff just to watch the sunset, something she's never allowed to do. When Grug realizes she's missing, he rushes outside and barely escapes another predator before finding her. Furious, he drags her home and seals the cave with a giant boulder. "I hate living like this," Eep argues, but Grug refuses to listen. To prove his point, he tells the family another one of his stories, about a girl who chased something new and died because of it. Satisfied that the lesson worked, everyone goes to sleep. Later that night, Eep notices a strange glowing light outside the cave. Curiosity wins. She quietly slips past the boulder and follows the light deep into the mountains, where she discovers something she's never seen before: fire. As she stares at it in amazement, someone suddenly appears behind her. Startled, she attacks. The stranger quickly removes his pig mask and introduces himself. His name is Guy. He's human, just like her. Meanwhile, Grug wakes up, notices Eep is gone, and immediately goes searching for her. Eep believes the fire is a piece of the sun. Guy explains that it's something he created himself. Then he introduces his unusual pet, a sloth called Belt, who lives around his waist like a living belt. But Guy isn't interested in small talk. He has a warning: the world is ending. He's already seen the signs: massive earthquakes, the ground splitting apart, rivers of lava swallowing everything. Then he asks Eep to leave with him. She refuses. She'll never abandon her family. Instead, Guy gives her a conch shell. "If you ever need me, blow this." Eep blows it immediately, but when she turns around, Guy has disappeared. Standing in his place is Grug. He drags Eep back to the cave, where she tells everyone about the strange boy she met. Instead of believing her, the family panics. When they see Guy's conch shell, they smash it into pieces, leaving Eep furious. Before anyone can calm down, the entire ground begins shaking. Mountains crack apart. The Croods sprint toward their cave, only to watch the mountain collapse right on top of it. Grug barely pulls everyone to safety before their home is destroyed forever. When the dust finally settles, they discover something completely unexpected. Beyond the ruins lies a breathtaking jungle, unlike anything they've ever seen. Eep is amazed. Grug is terrified. He refuses to go any farther, but then the same giant predator attacks again. With nowhere else to run, the Croods are forced into the mysterious jungle. The deeper they travel, the stranger everything becomes. By nightfall, they still haven't found shelter. A troop of monkeys suddenly attacks Grug, beating him from every direction. Before they can finish him off, a gigantic lion appears. The monkeys scatter instantly. Now, the lion is hunting the Croods instead. The family runs for their lives across the desert, and only escapes when darkness finally scares the creature away. Just when the Croods think they've escaped, a huge flock of strange red birds suddenly bursts out of the ground and swarms a massive animal, devouring it within seconds. The family freezes in terror, but instead of hiding, Eep grabs one of the animal's horns and blows into it. Miles away, Guy hears the call. He rushes in and uses fire to scare the birds away. Using fire, instead of thanking him, the Croods tackle him to the ground, convinced he's dangerous. Guy stares at them in disbelief. Cave people. When Eep explains they're actually her family, he's even more shocked. Grug still doesn't trust him. Suspicious of the fire, he knocks Guy unconscious. With no one controlling the flames anymore, the family starts playing with fire for the first time in their lives. Seconds later, the entire jungle catches fire. Nearby corn explodes into popcorn, launching everyone into the air before burying the family beneath a mountain of popcorn by sunrise. Guy wakes up and immediately tries to escape. Eep catches him before he gets far. She convinces Grug they need Guy because he's the only one who knows how to make fire. Grudgingly, Grug agrees, but keeps Guy tied to a giant log. Guy warns them the safest route is through a distant mountain filled with caves. Grug ignores him and chooses his own path instead. A few minutes later, the ground begins collapsing beneath them. Realizing Guy was right, Grug reluctantly changes course toward the mountains. Before long, hunger becomes another problem. The family spots a giant bird's nest. Grug and Thunk charge in for the eggs, and both come back completely beaten up. Watching the disaster unfold, Guy can't believe how they survive anything. He tries escaping again, but Eep catches him. Guy explains that brute force isn't always the answer. If you let me go, I'll show you a better way. She takes the chance. Together, they build a clever leaf puppet to lure the bird into a trap. The plan almost works until both of them get distracted watching the puppet. The bird spots them instead. It grabs Guy first, then turns toward Eep. Grug rushes in to help, but Eep stops him. This time, she trusts Guy's plan. She tricks the bird into the trap, and Guy quickly roasts it over the fire. For the first time in days, the family enjoys a proper meal. Everyone eats happily, except Guy and Belt, who gave up their share. Later that night, Grug notices Eep and Guy growing closer. Trying to scare her away from him, he tells another one of his usual stories. Guy simply shakes his head. That's not a story. A story is supposed to inspire people. Then he tells one of his own. It's about a girl who ignored fear, followed the light, and discovered a place where the sun never disappeared, a place called Tomorrow. Everyone listens in complete silence. Even Grug has no answer. Finally, he ends the conversation and orders everyone to sleep. The next morning, Eep keeps asking Guy about the future. Guy smiles. I'll tell you everything once I'm free. Instead of untying him herself, Eep has Thunk knock the log loose. Guy rolls away and nearly escapes again. Grug chases after him, but the sharp rocks covering the ground stop him cold. Guy's strange shoes protect his feet. Grug's don't. Guy hides behind a boulder, but when he sees the family struggling, he turns back. I'll help, but no more log. Grug reluctantly agrees. Guy immediately begins solving problems no one else even notices. He makes shoes from animal hide. The Croods are amazed. When they ask where all these ideas come from, Guy points to his head. Right here. Thunk. I don't think I have one of those. Grug quickly replies, you don't need one. Strong muscles beat strong brains. Guy quietly proves him wrong. Every obstacle they face, he solves with another idea. Slowly, everyone starts trusting him. Everyone except Grug. Meanwhile, Eep and Guy grow even closer. Eventually, the mountains come into view. Only one obstacle remains. A field of unstable rock bubbles. Guy tells everyone to spread out before crossing. Grug refuses to split the family apart. Then the ground suddenly collapses beneath them. Everyone falls into different caves. Guy and Eep land together, while the others struggle to climb out. Using Guy's ideas, each family member escapes one by one. Only Grug remains trapped below. In the end, Uga climbs back down to pull him out herself. Guy leads the family to the top of a gigantic tree, where they experience a completely different world. For the first time in their lives, they're actually having fun. A little later, Uga helps Grug climb up too. Grug still refuses to trust Guy and orders everyone back down, but Uga smiles. I've never seen them this happy. She walks away, leaving Grug alone. Then Guy extinguishes his torch. Instantly, the entire sky fills with countless stars. The Croods are speechless. The future looks just like this. Everyone wants to follow him, except Uga, who refuses to leave without Grug. Gran quietly delivers one final blow. Keeping us alive was never really his talent. All he ever had was strength. Hidden nearby, Grug hears every word. Without saying anything, he quietly walks away, determined to come up with an idea of his own. The next morning, the family realizes he's gone. While searching for him, they run into a strange woman, who turns out to be Grug, wearing a disguise. Proudly, he shows off all of his new ideas. Rock sunglasses, cave wall photography. Every single invention fails miserably. Even Grug can't help admitting, maybe he's not very good at ideas. Before long, every animal in the valley, suddenly begins running toward the mountains. Something massive is coming. The entire world behind them is collapsing. Grug orders everyone into another cave. Nobody moves. This time, they choose Guy. Furious, Grug attacks him. The fight quickly spirals out of control, and both of them fall into a giant tar pit. The harder Grug struggles, the deeper he sinks. Guy quietly tells him the truth. My family died in a tar pit just like this. Then he remembers the last lesson his father ever taught him. When you're afraid, run toward the sun. For the first time, Grug finally understands Guy was never trying to replace him. He was trying to save them. Grug asks Guy for an idea. Guy thinks, nothing. Then Belt smacks him in the head. Suddenly, he has one. Using nearby branches, they build a fake female lion to lure a real lion close enough to pull them free. The plan almost fails until Grug starts controlling the puppet himself. The lion finally rushes in, dragging both of them out of the tar. Seconds later, the lion falls into the pit instead. Grug and Guy burst into laughter. At last, they're friends. Unfortunately, the celebration doesn't last long. The ground begins collapsing beneath everyone. Grug immediately tells Guy to lead the family toward the future. Together, they race toward the giant glowing sun. Then disaster strikes again. The earth splits open. A massive river of lava blocks the only path forward. For a moment, everyone loses hope. Then Grug steps forward. We're not going back. I finally understand. Surviving isn't enough. We have to live. Looking across the lava, he realizes there's only one chance. I'll throw you. He sends Guy across first. It works. One by one, he throws every member of his family safely to the other side. Only Eep remains. She hugs her father tightly. I love you. I've never said that before. Grug smiles, then throws her to safety just before the ground beneath him collapses. Separated from his family, Grug barely escapes into a nearby cave. Alone for the first time, he accidentally creates fire by himself. Excited, he begins drawing his family on the cave wall, wishing they were still together. Suddenly, the same lion appears. Grug tries to scare it away with fire. The lion simply blows it out. But when darkness fills the cave, the lion becomes scared too. It relights the fire, then curls up beside Grug like a harmless pet. Moments later, Grug hears a familiar sound, the conch shell. His family is calling for help. Determined to reach them, Grug finally has his greatest idea yet. He builds a flying machine from bones, tar, and giant birds. Using fire to guide them, he soars across the collapsing world with the lion and a growing herd of animals following behind. Just as the ground is about to swallow the Croods, Grug crashes through with his incredible flying rescue. His family can't believe he's alive. Even better, Grug proudly introduces the lion. Don't worry, he's my pet. Together, the Croods finally reach a beautiful new land. For the first time in their lives, they aren't hiding anymore. They're finally free to live instead of simply survive.